What's going on, people? Welcome back to the morning after show. A good morning to you all. I hope you slept very well last night after that absolute shit show at St James's Park yesterday. Obviously, it finished 2-2. Was it a detrimental drop points? It wasn't really, with only 2 points outside top four.
It was, well,
mentality-wise.
I just think, yeah, in the bigger picture, in terms of what it represents, in terms of where we're going, it was pretty damaging. Pretty damaging result. Obviously, if we were to win our next two games against Man United and Everton, people look at the result and won't even think twice about it. But you know, we're not going to do that. It's just very, very unlikely we're going to go on a run. And you know, Mourinho. There seems to be an air of toxicity now in the air, which isn't good.
It wasn't just like the result yesterday, that and the way in the manner in which we gave it away, but it's actually we got absolutely outplayed by a very, very poor Newcastle side. 22 shots, their most shots in a game for 7 years. I mean,
it wasn't shots; it was shots inside the box. 17.
Yeah.
How the hell are they getting inside our penalty box so much to get 17 shots inside the penalty area? That is just unforgivable against a Newcastle team without their two best players as well.
But to have the most shots a Newcastle team have had for 7 years, and there've been some. Look, I wouldn't say there's been good Newcastle teams over the 7 years, but there's been teams that have been much better than this side, and they've played teams a lot worse than us. And it just makes me think, like, where the hell are we going when we can't even put in a normal performance against Newcastle, where they had so much to gain from that match, so much to gain, get in the top four, good feelings going into this hard run that we've got now with Man U, Everton, Man City in the cup final. I mean, what is going on at that football club? Seriously.
It's not good. It's not good. And with each bad result, it keeps that feeling that. I mean, it is the fact of the matter. We are underachieving. Let's be honest. When we putting in performances like we did yesterday, that is not representative of how good the squad is. We are much better than that Newcastle team. You can't say anything else than that.
That Newcastle team are probably the worst team in the league on current form.
And also, we had most of the players on the pitch which Mourinho supposedly trusts, or more of an 11 that he trusts than
exactly
before.
The same 11 as the Villa game, and you know, at that Villa game we were like, we're going to see exactly who Jose trusts now. Blah 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 blah. He probably can't trust anyone now.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I mean, look, the players on the pitch, especially when you're looking at the back four, I think, when Sanchez and Tanganga and Reguilon, when they're putting in those kind of performances, I wouldn't put that all down to Mourinho. But the fact, is a team cohesion as the way we play in terms of dominating games, creating chances, the football that we play, that is down to Mourinho. And I know we dominated possession, but Newcastle dominated the chances. Newcastle had more shots, they had the better chances than us. Yes, we did create chances, but Newcastle created the better chances, and that should never be happening in a game between Newcastle and Tottenham in this kind of fixture. Should never be happening. And they have been awful this season, Newcastle, absolutely terrible. And the fact that they outplayed us was really, really hard to watch and hard to fathom. And no one could say, really, that... First of all, no one can say we deserved a result in that game, and no one can say that it's all down to the players, because the players definitely take responsibility for the way we conceded, but they don't take the responsibility for the way we played. Mourinho has to take responsibility for the way we played, and ultimately that was nowhere near good enough.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, we've been putting in performances like that under Pochettino as well, the back end of Pochettino.
That's true. That is true.
But yeah, I get your point that Jose does need to take some blame. I hate,
lot of the blame.
I hate this whole thing after every game where we have a negative result. Oh, who's to blame? This one's to blame. That one's to blame. The whole fucking lot of them are to blame.
Agreed.
Jose is to blame. The players are to blame. The board are to blame. I mean, everyone has their equal share of blame, in my opinion.
I think if we had a better set of defenders, then I don't think the football will be much better, but I do think that would be getting a lot more results. For sure, we were getting a lot more results. We can see that how many goals we've conceded in the last 15 minutes, and how many times there have been really poor mistakes where most defenders in the Premier League would have dealt with those situations. Both goals yesterday were completely avoidable, and had nothing, especially the first one. That first one had nothing to do with Mourinho. That's not Mourinho that's instructing them to play a bad pass. That is just incompetent, awful defending, lack of composure on the ball. That is to do with individual characteristics.
But does it come down to training on the training ground as well?
Not for the first goal, but the way we played. The way we played in general throughout the game.
Throughout the season.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the game yesterday. The way we played in terms of allowing Newcastle so much encouragement, like we've done with so many other teams this season. The way we allowed Newcastle so many chances. The way we created chances, but not enough to justify the difference in quality between the two opponents. That has to all go down to Mourinho. Mourinho has to take responsibility about how much he's getting out of these players, how much what his coaching is doing, because it's not creating performances where we're dominating teams, where we're giving teams who are worse than us no chance in the game, which we restrict them to no chances, where we're giving them loads of chances. But when you actually go drill down into the goals, I think a lot of it is down to individual characteristics, and then the individuals in that sense have to take responsibility in the sense as are they good enough, or what are they doing on the training pitch to improve themselves? Because I think that first goal especially, that's nothing to do with Mourinho. That is just shite from the defence individually. And I do think if we did have higher calibre of defenders, this wouldn't be happening. But at the same time, Mourinho has to take responsibility for putting a lot of pressure on the defence. And when we have these defenders, they clearly don't have the mettle to literally hold strong when we're in the league going to the last 15 minutes. So you have to do things in a different way. And at the moment, we're doing things the same way every single game. And every time we're getting unstuck.
So what's the kind of answer now? Does Jose get another season with a new defence in the summer? Do we just start from scratch? Rip the whole thing down and build up again?
I would say I'd be happy for Mourinho to have another season, but at the moment he looks to be burning all the bridges. That's the problem. Lying about Toby, which we'll get into, but there seems to be a lot of... Obviously, there was frictions before he came, but he's exacerbated them. I think in the short term, he kind of got everyone together, but over the long term, it's the thing that really is he's causing way too many frictions in the squad, and it's clearly having a detrimental effect on everyone, and that is not good. That is not good at all. And yeah, some players need to be told some harsh truths. I think that's true, and I think Pochettino was too nice at some moments, and I think sometimes that was needed. But you also need the players on side. You need, when we talk about these players before, like Zlatan and Wesley Sneijder and Eto'o, all glowing reports on Mourinho and all willing to run through a brick wall for him and stuff like that. That's all well and good, but you need to be able to manage each set of players differently to their own needs.
Are the modern set of football players, the modern day footballer, are they built the same way as these players?
Don't know. Clearly not.
That's the clear question.
Clearly
because
not.
If you treat someone like Jose treated Dele Alli, if he treated Zlatan like that, Zlatan will come back fighting. Dele Alli doesn't come back fighting. You know what I mean? There are players in that squad where if you give them those harsh truths, they'll be like, all right, fine, go fuck yourself then. You know what I mean?
And that's what Harry Redknapp was very good at. He was very good at knowing what to say to each player in terms of some players you need to put an arm around the shoulder, some players you need to be harsher with. For example, like he used to say with Gareth Bale, like he used to get injured in training and stuff and used to spend like half the training session rolling on the floor. And he always told the physio, don't go treat him. Just wait, just let him
Which player is that?
Bale. He used to be harsh with him. He used to say, "Look, no, he's being
Never knew that.
Yeah. He used to say he used to tell the physio, "Don't go and treat him." When in the training sessions and stuff, because all the time Bale would overreact or over his injuries and stuff like that, and then he'd get back up and then he'd toughen them up a bit basically. And then other players like Adebayor and whatever, he would put the arm around the shoulder. He would say, "Look, you're a great player," and stuff like that, and we'll just need to unlock your potential, and that worked for him. And I feel like with Mourinho, he kind of treats everyone in the same way. And obviously I don't know, I'm speculating, but it feels like that he's being very harsh with everyone, and so a lot of the players is causing a lot of frictions. And then when you're out the team and he's being harsh with you, it causes a lot of negative and bad feelings. And the way Mourinho likes to play, the way he is, he needs everyone on side, and he's alienating a lot of the players. And I think that's bad. And obviously the players, it's their responsibility how they react to things, and if they're not taking things the right way, that is also bad for them, because it means, when another manager comes in and they're also harsher, then are they going to take that a bad way? Like, are we just going to allow all these players to sell out every manager who tries to be harsh with them and tries to improve them? But on the flip side, Mourinho has to find a way to really get the most out of this squad and really find a way to get into the players' heads to make sure that they're fighting for him and they're fighting for the club, they're fighting for their place. At the moment, I can't say he's doing that. He's clearly not doing that, and he's causing more friction. So, at the moment, it looks like it's coming to an end. Even though we're 2 points off top four, and obviously if we do get top four, I think he's would have worth another season.
It's funny that all that doom and gloom, we actually made up a point of the top four.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. It's weird when you think about it like that. But it's just the way we played, I think, the manner of the manner of the performance.
Ultimately, though, in 2 weeks after this Man United Everton game, it could all be all over.
If we lose both games, it pretty much is all over, isn't it? We'll be out of top four, and then all you'll have is the cup final. And I guess if he does win the cup final and finish outside the top four, I think I would let him go and just say, look, you did your job in terms of we won us the trophy that we all wanted. But at the end of the day, I think that the squad, clearly, you need the squad on side at the end of the day. And although he's got a lot of the big players like Kane on side and whatnot, you need everyone on side, and that's not happening at the moment. But look, we could go and beat Man United and everything could be different, and and then all of a sudden we're talking about top four and we're all in a good mood. But at the moment, I can't see the positivity of the way we're playing. I can't see the positivity in how the squad are reacting. All the rumours and the murmurs, what we're hearing about how a lot of the squad have reacted to a lot of his comments is not good. Not good at all.
In my opinion, I just think the whole thing, like I've said on many occasions, but now I put Jose Mourinho into that bracket. I just feel like at the end of the season, everything just needs to be broken down and built back up. However long it takes to build it back up, I don't know. But I just got a feeling like that's the way it needs to go, because there's just too many poisonous things in that squad festering, and it's just
you say we need to you say we need to just burn it down and build it up, but like I would agree with you if we were 10th, but we're not like that. We're not 10th. We're 5th, we're 2 points off top four. This squad is clearly capable.
It's a very strange season at the end of the day, but it's been like a strange season for us for the last 3 seasons. But in terms of the Premier League, look at Liverpool. They're going to come back strong next season. Chelsea will come back strong next season. Everton are going well. There are loads of good teams in the Premier League now. It's not like a few years ago where there was only 4 teams in there that are fighting for that top 4. There are 6 or 7 teams in there that can finish top 4. There are players in there that I want to move out as well. It's not many players in there that you say like Harry Kane. Does he want to stay? Heung-min Son, does he want to stay? He's still stalling on that contract now. So I got a feeling that a lot of these players just need to move on for their mentality in the squad as well. It's not just about, we win games here and there. We're 5th in the league, all good. But there's just there's just a awful mentality within that squad that I feel that it just needs to be ripped down and built back up.
What I'm saying is we're not we don't need everything changing. I really don't believe that. I don't think we need to burn everything down to the ground and build it right up again. because we're really not that far away from the top teams. I really don't. I really believe that. And yeah, a lot of football this season has been bad, and I think you could say that for a lot of teams. Where in this season with the pandemic, like a lot of the football has been really poor for a lot of the teams, not just us. Yeah, we need major changes. But do we need to like everything changing because we're fifth and we're 2 points off top four? Like I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I think we need to improve.
We need to set our sights higher than just top four at the end of the day. And the Pochettino will go for titles, going for Champions League, stuff like that.
We change everything, and then you say, okay, it could take 2-3 years to get back to where we're. So where we're going to be is basically we're going to be like mid-table. You're accepting that, and for 2-3 years we might even be lower than now with the ambition of being further ahead in like 3-4 years' time.
I'm not saying that it all needs to be done at one go. I think that the defence needs to be done first, and then you look at the midfield, then you look at the attack. But I think that wholesale changes do need to be made, and that's a fact. It's an absolute fact. The whole defence needs to go pretty much the whole defence. The midfield, you've got players like Winks and Sissoko that need to go. You've got players up front like Lamela, who's coming into his last year of a contract. We've got 3 goalkeepers this summer coming into their last year of their contract. I mean, there's a lot of changes that need to be happening, and that's pretty much is taking it all down and building it back up.
Getting rid of Winks, Sissoko, Lamela, and a few defenders.
Dyer, Sanchez, Doherty, Davis.
Yeah, no one disagrees. Aurier. We need to upgrade all these positions.
That is ripping it all down and building it back up. And the manager.
Burning it down and ripping it back up would be selling Kane and Son and selling a lot of the big players.
Kane, I only want to keep about 6 of them. That's literally the only ones I want to keep. Kane, Son, who probably don't even want to stay anyway. Ndombele, does he even want to stay? I mean, I don't know if these players even want to stay.
I mean, I think that's going overboard.
Is it?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Because look, I think it's not been a great season, but I don't think everyone's going to look to leave now. I don't think that's.
Why would they want to stay?
Look, we're still fifth, man. We're not.
Who cares that we're fifth?
What do you mean? Who cares? We're above teams who have a lot of players than us.
Do you have any sort of confidence that we're going to get anywhere that we need to be?
Okay, so why would Mane and Salah want to stay at Liverpool? You know what I mean?
It's one-off season that they've had heavy
Why would
injuries.
Richarlison or Calvert-Lewin want to stay at Everton? They're 8th. Why would they want to stay? Might as well burn everything down. It's not as easy as that. It's not as easy as that. It's completely
different.
No, come on.
Everton have just got.
I think it's an overreaction.
Everton have just got Ancelotti, and they're on their way up. Everton are improving.
They got Ancelotti very similar time to we got Mourinho. Very similar time.
Everton are improving.
In what way?
What do you mean?
They're 8th.
Look at the way they've progressed throughout the years. We are going down. We are going backwards.
How have Everton progressed? And you were saying we haven't progressed, where we're higher in the table when we were at this stage last season, but Everton aren't.
Everton have got 2 games in hand on us to go in the top 4.
Okay, but they might not win them. But Everton are not that much better than us, or if at all, really. I don't think.
I agree. Look, we don't want to be compared to Everton. We want to be compared to Liverpool. We want to be compared to City. We don't want to be compared to Everton.
Yeah, but we're not there at the moment.
But right now, we're being compared to Everton. That's a step backwards.
Yeah, I agree with that. But
we've been going backwards since the middle of Poch era, and we're going to keep going backwards until we get the whole new set of players, until we burn everything that we've got, get all the deadwood out, get all the poisonous atmospheres out, get everyone that we need to get out, and get a whole new set of players in. That's the only way we're going to start making progress again.
I guess it depends what you mean by burning it down. I guess you can take it in different ways. Like you want to sell everyone. It's not realistic. We can't do that. And I think the squad of players we have at the moment, we need a lot of changes. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I don't think we need to get rid of everything, basically, and we
look,
need.
When I say burn everything down, obviously there's things that I want to keep in there. There's obviously players I want to keep in there. There's obviously players that are good players in there, but the majority of them are shit. The majority of them are not good enough for what we want to achieve.
So then you can't blame Mourinho in that sense.
Well, I think Mourinho. Yeah, look, Mourinho's got a lot to blame as well, to be honest. Like I said, it all filters down from Daniel Levy to Jose Mourinho to the players. They've all got culpable hands. All of them. Every single one of them.
Yeah, of course. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with any of that. I don't disagree with a lot of that. But what I'm saying is, from where the position this squad is in, right, it's not like we're miles away from even like from the top three. Even like it's not like we're so far away where there's no point even like carrying anything on. What we're doing is my like burn everything. I don't think it's as simple as that. I think I know we're on a downward trajectory, of course, and we need major changes in the squad. I don't disagree with any of that, but we're not as far away as people think we are. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I know yesterday was really poor, and I was really angry with yesterday. And there's a lot of stuff this season I've been angry about. But in terms of where we are, I'm not saying fifth is where we want to be. It's not where we want to be. It's underachievement, but it's not 10th. You know what I mean? It's not like we're not like we're mid-table. We're not. We're still challenging there. We're still 2 points off.
Yeah, but we lose these 2 games against Man U and Everton. We could be near to 10th.
Okay, well we'll see where we are then.
I mean, it's a very fine line this season between 5th and 10th.
Exactly. Yeah, that's my point.
So I mean,
and also between 5th and 4th, though, you could say the same. So it's all very close.
But we've seen the way we are this season. We've seen who we can't beat this season. We've seen what happens when we come up against any sort of decent side this season. We've seen how we throw away any sort of lead that we get pretty much throughout the whole season. So
I don't disagree with any of that.
We know which way it's going.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see us getting top 4. I don't think we will get top 4, and I think and that is an underachievement. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that in terms of the playing squad, it's not like we are that far behind though. We're not. It's not like we're not. We're not in the mid-table or like lower mid-table where like you could say this season has been that bad where everything needs to go. It's not that case yet, but we are in a case where if we want to be ambitious and we want to challenge go back to where we were at peak Poch, then yeah, we need to have a summer like Poch had in his first summer. Yeah, that's what we need to have.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we just had this whole argument for agreeing.
All right, should we watch the press conference? Because I think there's a lot of interesting stuff to say.
Yeah, I just want to go and tell you how we're going to structure this. So we're going to go through the press conference. If you want us to react to anything, do tag us on Twitter or send us a super chat. I think we missed one super chat, by the way. Do you want to? Have you got it there?
1 sec. It doesn't say we had a super chat here.
We did have. Oh, I've got it here. From TK, he said, false hope each time. We big up the team during the week for a performance like that. So much unfulfilled potential. We need a coach with new ideas.
Yeah, I agree with that. We do big up the team a lot. And there's a lot of the time. And I think it's been a lot of the time. And, so, man.
Ultimately, yeah, when me and John did that tier list video last week, we had
only 9 players.
Nine players were above a squad player, and that just tells the whole story, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think you got that pretty much spot on that tier list as well. When I was looking at it, I don't think you got any of that wrong. I think that's where we are in the squad at the moment. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of the time as well. Apart from Man City, I think a lot of the teams in the league have a similar problem.
Well, you look at Liverpool. I mean, they've had a shocking season this year, but I have no doubt in my mind they'll be back next season with Van Dijk and Joe Gomez and back in defence. I mean, they've just had a season from hell, literally, in terms of injuries. And I have no doubt in my mind they'll be back at next season fighting at the top of the league. So, and that's the kind of level we need to be at. That is the level we were at mid-Pochettino era, where you could have said we were fighting for the league. We had the potential to go on and kick on. And that's the level we want to be at. We don't want to be on the level of kind of fighting for top 4 like we were right at the beginning of the Pochettino era, Harry Redknapp era. We've gone back to those days.
Yeah, I know. But the problem is, right, because we didn't invest under peak Pochettino, we know, look, we all know this. We've gone backwards, right? And the thing is, what people don't realise as well, Pochettino, right, to get to where he did, he had to overachieve. He had to overachieve to get to where he was. People keep forgetting this. Pochettino literally overachieved for 3-4 years at Spurs. He wasn't getting what was expected. He was overachieving every single time he got that top 4 position, and we got ourselves into our position where we had a very good squad, and obviously we expected top 4, and then all of a sudden now we're falling out of the top 4, moving backwards. But actually, in terms of the quality of the squad, 5th, like where we are at the moment, 5th and 6th is probably like where we're at. in terms of the quality, and Mourinho would have to get into the top four. Maybe it's debatable whether we're a top four squad or not, but it's not like before where we were overachieving. Now we're pretty much where we're meant to be, and now that's seen as underachievement because Pochettino was able to overachieve for so long.
Where do you think this squad are at in terms of quality within the squad? Where are we in terms of the league table? Where should we be?
I think City have a better squad than us, obviously. I think Chelsea have a better squad than us.
Liverpool.
I think Liverpool have a better squad than us. I think United have a United have a better squad than us. That's for at least 4 teams there. Other than that, I think fifth. Really, I think we have a better squad than Leicester.
You think fifth is our par?
That's par.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we are at the moment. So I do, in terms of like league
So in terms of
position,
that, you think Jose is pretty much performing at par then?
yes and no. I would say yeah because of the league position, but no because there's a lot. We should be higher than we are in terms of points, and we're lucky that Liverpool are performing worse than us in that sense. So there's only a spot in the top 4 open because Liverpool dropped off so massively, and we're not par because we should be above Leicester, but we are par in terms of fifth. We are the fifth best squad in the league, I believe, at this current time. And when you look at defence as well, like. We're probably even worse than fifth. We're probably 6th or 7th in terms of where we are in defensive terms.
Did you go through that
Vishal? If Levy can get the defence rebuilt, would you stick with Jose? Also, what is our best chance of winning the Carabao Cup? Look, I don't have a problem with us rebuilding the defence and stick with Jose. My problem at the moment is Jose right now, how he's conducting himself and how what he's saying about players and what he's saying about, like, I don't mind him calling out players for not giving more and stuff like that. But when he's saying, Toby didn't, I don't know what he's doing, lying about these things. It's whether it's easily refutable and angering people. I would be pissed if I was Toby when he's saying I came late when he didn't come late and there's proof of it. Like, I don't like, he's burning bridges now and I don't like that. That is what is telling me that maybe this isn't the right fit. But in terms of from a footballing perspective, would I have a problem with carrying on Mourinho and just getting a new set of defenders and going with that? I wouldn't have the biggest problem with that. But at the moment, I don't know if he's going to retain the trust of the players. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as time goes on, I think that he's burning more and more bridges as time goes on.
And as soon as Harry Kane turns on him, that's it.
Yeah, as soon as Don Corleone
exactly.
turns on him and Harry Kane. But look, in terms of where we're at the moment, in terms of where we're at with Jose Mourinho, I just can't see him turning it around. I think he's burnt too many bridges. Obviously, I'm willing to give him until the end of the season, but I think at the end of the season, if we haven't got top 4, if we haven't won this cup, I think we have to just cut our losses and just move on, to be honed. That's my opinion.
A lot can happen from now to the end of the season.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion, but at the moment, that's the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree at the moment, and I think he has a lot to prove. I think he has to, as I said in the Villa after the Villa game. Yeah, it's good we won and whatever, but he has to prove from now to the end of the season that when he has players that he trusts, he can get results and he can get us a way of playing that wins games. And yesterday wasn't.
We need a manager that can galvanise the squad. That's what we need.
But he can do that. He's proven with years. I know he's also proven in Go Toxic, but he's also proven for years with every team he's been at. He can galvanise a team and he can get results.
Not when he's been at a team this long, though.
That's true, but but you can take it the other way. He's also never been. Well, first of all, he hasn't been at us that long. He's only been at us 18 months, or not even 2 years yet. It's been 18 months. So what happens with him? He gets results straight away, and then it starts to go bad. We've never seen how it goes if he's given time when it is bad to change things. We haven't seen that.
Football doesn't offer you that much time anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, but maybe that's a criticism of football, not Jose. I don't know.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Brian C. I don't know. That's Grandpa. I don't think it's Grandpa. It just says Brian C.
No, he wouldn't start it with lads.
Lad, yeah, definitely not. Lad, so disappointment yet again. There is evidence that disharmony in the dressing room is contributing. Has to be sorted. Not good enough.
There is disharmony in the.
Well, Laurie's proved it, didn't he, when it was his interview?
Yeah.
And then also I'll show you more. Well, I think when we get into press conference, I'll show some other stuff. And
Go on.
Game Tech says starting 11 yesterday. We don't want top four. We need to go back to playing attacking football and suffocate the other team. Killing the game is the problem. Killing the game is a big part of the problem, but also the way we're defending these leads, like the way we're conceding goals, is a massive part of the problem. And when I go back to that first goal, when Tanganga plays it straight to Richie, and we get a second chance to clear it, and it goes straight to Richie again, and then we get a third chance to clear it, and Højbjerg puts in a weak challenge. That has nothing to do with Jose. Jose doesn't tell Højbjerg, yeah, put in a weak challenge. Doesn't tell Sanchez, yeah, when you're clearing it, pass it straight to Richie. He doesn't tell them these things. That's just awful play from the defenders. But giving encouragement to Newcastle and everything like that, and giving them that many chances, that is down to Mourinho.
But also, is it a consequence of how he's managing the team? Is it a consequence of how he's not getting the team on side? Is it a consequence of him not making the team run through brick walls for him, or not getting the players completely on side with him?
I mean, who knows?
Who knows? I mean, mid Pochettino, that would never have happened. It happened back end of Pochettino, those kind of things. It's because the players stopped believing in the way the manager was working.
I mean, I don't know if that's if it's. I don't know. Is Sanchez making that mistakes because he doesn't believe in Mourinho?
I don't think it's a conscious mistake to make. I think it doesn't happen. He's not got in his mind saying, "Look, I don't like Jose Mourinho. I'm going to make this mistake." I don't think that's the case. I just think that when you're not fully on board, these mistakes can happen. When you're not fully concentrating.
It's true. It's true. That also, and that's why we saw so many mistakes at the end of the Pochettino era as well, when we were making those mistakes before. And there is definitely truth to that. But I think that also goes down to individual characteristics as well, the players. I think if your mentality isn't strong enough to be able to cope with the high pressures of Premier League football, then
we've seen it. We've seen it at many clubs before. We've seen it at Chelsea countless times where they play shit, they throw the manager under the bus, they're making mistake after mistake after mistake. A new manager comes in, they go on and win the league.
Yeah, but then it happens again.
Yeah, then it happens again. But at least they're getting the trophies. We go through this period without getting anything.
Yeah, but we've never seen. We've seen things go bad with Jose, right? But we've never seen him go through a bad period and then get a chance to rebuild and see what he can do. But he always gets sacked. That's the problem. He always gets sacked. Just like Pochettino, right? Pretty much his first awful period, terrible period, we sacked him. So we never know what could have happened if he stayed on. I'm sure if Pochettino stayed on, right, he could have rebuilt and he could have got us playing again. He could have rebuilt our way of playing. But we didn't give him that opportunity. So we don't know what could have happened. And I feel like it could be a lot. Obviously, it's the same. If we sack Mourinho, we're never going to know. But I think it might. But it might have to happen if he's alienated too much of the squad. It's difficult to know what to do.
Look, we've got some papers to get through. We've got the press conference to get through. Shall we have a listen to the press conference?
Yeah, let's listen.
It's only 8 minutes. So.
Yeah. But he's had a lot of interesting things to say apparently.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. If you'd like to raise a question, if you'd like to ask a question, please use the raise hand function. And we'll start with Rob Guest.
Hi, Jose. Can you just get your thoughts on today's performance and results?
It's a bad result. I'm not being disrespectful with Newcastle, but I think that is a match to win. So the result is not a good one. And the performance, if I analyze the performance separated from so many mistakes that lead to instability, and instability leads to hope in the opposition. If I want to analyze it separate from that, I think we were good. I would say very good in some moments. A great period in the first half. Also a solid period in the second. But I cannot do it. The game belongs to every moment, and I cannot separate the game from these moments of instability, and that's the reason why we didn't win the game, because that instability also affects the ball possession, also affects the way you build, also affects the way you go to attacking situations. So that's my view.
What do you think of that response? He says individual, apart from the mistakes we're making, apart from the individual characteristics of the mistakes, we were not that bad. We were good, he even said. But he can't separate the performance from the mistakes.
I disagree. I think even take the mistakes out of that game, I still think we were poor. We didn't do much in this game. I know we had a couple of chances here and there, but still, I don't think we were good yesterday at all, regardless of the mistakes.
I think there were periods, obviously, just after we conceded.
Here and there.
Just after we conceded, I thought the shape was good and we attacked well, blah blah, and got 2 quick goals. I think in general we were bad. I do think in general we were bad. I think in general Newcastle had way too many attempts on goal, and way too many chances inside the box, and I think that a lot of it was down to a lot of awful individual mistakes. But I don't think he can sit here and say apart from the mistakes we were good, because I don't think that's true. I think in periods we were okay, but apart from that, in general we were pretty poor and way too open in our defence. So yeah, I do disagree with that, unfortunately.
To be fair, I'm disagreeing with a lot of things he's saying recently.
I see.
Cheers, Rob.
11 points now. Tottenham have dropped from conceding in the last 10 minutes of games. How do you go about fixing that?
I cannot tell you. I don't want to tell you. I think it's for me. It's for me. It's not for you. It's for me.
Okay, we're going to move on to Danko Patrick now.
Doesn't really say. Yeah, doesn't really say much, does he?
I mean, what's he going to do? Like, obviously, like he doesn't want to give away that, so it's clear, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, he doesn't look at his face. He's furious.
He's fuming, mate.
He's fuming. All right, let's keep going.
Hi, Jose. Are you obviously stuck with the same team that played against Villa? But it was quite a young defence in terms of experience and just age. I just wondered what the thinking was behind leaving out Aurier and Alderweireld from the squad. Were they not available or just not selected?
Not selected.
Can you say why?
Yeah, I can. They came to training just yesterday.
So they weren't fit?
They were fit, yeah, but they report for training
See, he clearly
only
says
yesterday.
today.
They went for the national teams and they didn't make the COVID tests on time to be in the training session on Thursday, not even on Friday. They come only yesterday. But did we lose matches with them, or with them we were a perfect team defensively?
Well, no, you did lose matches with them. I was just wondering what your thinking was.
It's like a school teacher at the end.
Yeah. I think. Look, I do think Mourinho has a point there at the end, saying, "Well, I know the point he's trying to make."
He doesn't have a point.
I think he does have a point. In terms of not in the sense that they should have been left out. In a sense that when they were playing. It's not like we were winning every game and defense was amazing. So people saying, "Oh, where were they?" and they should have played, blah blah blah. It's like it's a bit disingenuous a lot of the time.
I don't think no one is berating. Well, I'm not anyway, and I don't think you are. Is berating Jose for not picking Aurier or not picking Toby. I don't think that's the situation. The situation is, why are you clearly lying out your teeth of the whereabouts of Toby Alderweireld?
Yeah, that's not what the question was about. No, that I agree with. And it's interesting if we go, let me get this up on Twitter. because
it makes no sense.
That I no, that I agree with. Why is he lying? Why is he saying all this stuff about Toby? If you look at this tweet here from HLN England, you can.
This is from Wednesday as well.
Literally, you can clearly see there's Toby. He's literally training there. This is from Wednesday. He's in London. He's training.
And you can't train with the squad unless you've had a COVID test, by the way.
So I don't know if the video is 2 days ago. So that is it's 2 days ago. That would be Friday. No, Saturday. That would be Saturday. The video, the images are from Saturday, but this guy is saying he got there on Wednesday.
Right.
But still, he clearly was training. You can't train with the squad if you got a COVID test. Apparently, he was in London on Wednesday. So and apparently as well, if you look here, apparently he liked the tweet as well. Toby liked the tweet from Christopher.
So I think that says it all, to be honest.
Apparently, he's unliked it now. So yeah, I agree. That's something that is unacceptable. And now the report's saying that Tottenham players and staff are baffled by Mourinho's comments on leaving out Toby against Newcastle due to him not training when there's pictures of him training and stuff. I mean, they're obviously with him training. So I completely agree with that. I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, apparently when it comes to Aurier, that is true, what Mourinho said. But when it comes to Toby, it's completely not true. Yeah. So why he either he was talking about Aurier and not Toby, which I don't understand, and he wasn't being clear, or he was confused. I don't know, or he's just trying to save his own arse, and it's completely come back to bite him.
It doesn't sound like he was confused. He was clearly saying they this, they that, they this.
Because apparently Aurier and Bergwijn both came back late or something. I don't know. That's what he said.
Jose's a clever man. Come on. He clearly asked about Toby and Aurier. There was nothing about Bergwijn in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think either whatever way you slice it, it looks awful on Mourinho. Whatever way you slice it, and it's really worrying that he's saying this kind of stuff, and which is easily refutable. And that's obviously going to alienate a lot of the staff. And I would be pissed if I was Toby, and even if I was another member of the changing room there, one of the playing staff, I would be pissed as well. If the manager was saying this kind of stuff, which is definitely not true.
Toby's been a kind of senior player in this squad for ages now, so obviously he's got a lot of close friends within this squad.
Of course, he probably has a lot of. He probably has a lot of sway in the dressing room.
Exactly. So it's probably when he's not happy about Jose Mourinho lying about him in the press, I'm sure some of the other players are probably taking to that as well.
Gary McGrath said he trained Saturday, so he wasn't lying. I guess we don't have proof that he trained before Saturday, but we do know that he arrived in London before, so that's definitely true. I don't know. Like maybe in the next press conference he's going to clarify what he meant or what he said. But at the moment, it's awful look, and it's got a lot. It's obviously going to piss off a lot of the players, and this it all feeds into the narrative of toxic Jose and Jose causing frictions within the squad. So it's worrying, definitely worrying, and that's not good. That's not good at all.
All right, let's keep going.
Oh, what's that?
Super Sunday.
1 sec. Where were we? 1 second. Go on.
The same team that played against Villa, but it was quite a young defence in terms of experience and just age.
They came to training just yesterday. They didn't make the COVID tests on time to be in the training session on Thursday, not even on Friday. They come only yesterday. But did we lose
these matches with them? I was just wondering what your thinking was.
Okay, there's no more raised hands. Give a few seconds if anyone else wants to ask one more question. Otherwise, that's what's done.
Finished.
We've got a few more here. So we'll go to Martin.
Look, is that Toby there?
Huh?
Is that Toby?
Where?
In this picture here.
Why? What day is that?
This is Friday.
Zoom in.
Is that Toby?
It's
It's impossible to tell, yeah. It could be him. It looks like him.
It could be. It's impossible to tell.
I'm
There
just
was a whole
looking-
video, so I'm sure if you go through the video, you'll be able to see him. There's a video of that tennis thing.
Yeah, this is April the 1st, so that was Friday.
Yeah, I mean, that could be him. I'm not 100%. It's not conclusive. I don't know. Alright, let's keep going.
Go on.
Hi, Jose. Are you saying the two Are you saying the two defenders would have been included if they'd been in time for their COVID test, or would they've had a chance at least?
By the way, this video is
Maybe.
from Friday.
The video's from
The
Friday.
video is from Friday,
Okay.
and that picture was from Thursday.
So yeah,
So that means he was 100% in training on Friday.
yeah, we saw that. So the video's from Friday, not
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. It was released on the 2nd of April.
Yeah, that's Friday. Okay.
But I'm not saying yes. And I feel a bit strange, the previous question and also your question, because what are you trying to say? That Davinson Sanchez and Rodon, they were very bad? If you want to say that, you say. I'm not going to say that. If you want to say that Serge and Toby, every time they played, they were phenomenal. You want to say, if you want to say, you say, but don't put me with questions that you want an answer, but I don't have an answer to give, or at least the answer you want.
No, sorry, I'm not being disrespectful to the players that played. More that, is it indiscipline that cost them the chance to play? That's more the point.
I don't want to say indiscipline. I don't want to say discipline. I don't want to say that. This is what it is. The players that landed in London on Wednesday after internationals, and the ones that played in London, like the case of the English boys, they had the test and they could immediately be in training on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they couldn't, and they appeared only yesterday.
So maybe, sorry, last one. Maybe it's about desire. Are you suggesting?
I think Jose's explained all he needs to explain there. I'm going to move on to David from PA and finish there. So
It's very confusing, man. It's very confusing what he's saying.
He's just trying to confuse everyone. It's not like he's not even saying anything conclusive.
But why? Why? Doesn't make any sense why he would lie like that when there's evidence of Toby being there on Friday. At least it could even be on Thursday. So I don't understand it. It makes no sense.
Look, I guess we're not going to know the full story. I guess maybe in a couple of games we'll see what's happening here. We'll see if Toby's playing over the next couple of games.
Max HFC says Toby trained Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Read Ali Gold's news article regarding the incident. FFS. I was reading Ali Gold's news article, but I hadn't got through it all. Some say that each week there is a new player on Mourinho's naughty list as he looks to provoke and prod his players, and the head coach comments on Alderweireld being unavailable for trainable on Thursday, Friday seem odd. The Belgian was prominently shown in photos at Hotspur on Thursday, going through the warm-up drills, and then again in a video powered by the club on Friday. Alderweireld was clearly at the training ground and on the training pitches, and it had been suggested that by those inside the club that he had indeed reported back on Wednesday and was tested that day. An image doing the rounds on social media suggests Alderweireld liked a tweet from that journalist that we showed before, Christopher Terrera, on Sunday evening, claiming that the player had returned on Wednesday. But if true, the Belgian has since removed the like. Alderweireld is not the player he was in his prime alongside Jan, but he has been one of the Tottenham steadier defenders when called upon, which is true. That's all Ali Gold had to say about that.
And Mr. K says maybe Jose found the leak. Maybe Jose's looking for the leak.
In what way?
In terms of, just like you said, putting a different player on the naughty step each week, in that sort of sense. I don't know how that would find the leak, but I don't know. Maybe it's his own way kind of thing.
It's all very confusing, man, at the moment. And obviously, if he's lying about players, what is that going to help? That's going to just completely
alienate more of them.
Exactly. So it's a horrible, horrible look. And when he does shit like that, it's hard. You can't. I don't know. How can anyone back him when he's doing shit like that? I can't back him when he's doing shit like that, obviously. So that's all. That's terrible.
Shall we have a look at some of the headlines?
Should we just finish this? We'll,
okay,
still a couple more minutes.
Jose, were you disappointed that you didn't kill the game off? You had chances to kill the game off and you didn't.
We had chances to kill the game, but we create instability to ourselves with the mistakes that we made defensively. And you don't need me to analyze with you the goals that we concede. You don't need me to go with you through the 2 goals that we concede. You have lots of experience in football. If you want, you have the capacity to analyze it. If you want me to help you, I tell you, first goal and second goal, you split the goals in 3 different periods. Okay? In the second goal, for example, there were 3 periods. The moment of the cross, the ball in the second post, and the second ball in the face of the goal. You go from moment to moment, and you can analyze easily the goal. You go to the first goal. If you want to go, split in periods. The moment we had the ball, the moment we lost the ball, and the positional play when the ball reaches the goal scorer, I think Joe Wellington. So try to split the action in, let's say, 3 different phases, and you can look at it. So could we kill the game? Yes, we could kill the game. We had 1 ball in the second half where I don't know why Sonny tried to assist when he just has to control and score. We had the ball that Harry hit the post. We have the ball where Lamela just needs a simple pass to Tanguy, and Tanguy was in the face of the goal. Yes, we could kill the game. But then you look also to moments of instability, and also a couple of actions where Newcastle could score, and you take also your conclusions. But for me, as a coach, it's very, very hard to analyze the game with you. It's very, very hard to do it. It's not for me to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Look, I mean, that's pretty much what I said. That's pretty much what I said. In terms of the goals we conceded, I think it's down to the players. But in terms of how we played, which he didn't acknowledge, that's down to him. In terms of general play, you got to say that's down to him.
He never accepts any of the blame, really, Jose.
Not in front of the cameras, anyway.
Well, can you imagine him doing it behind the cameras? Obviously, we'll never know. But look, in terms of Jose, you were talking in his pre-match press conference how he looks a bit depressed or he looks tired or what have you.
Yeah.
This one, he looks 10 times more.
Yeah, he looks. I'm telling you, he does look.
He looks like a defeated man.
He looks fed up. He does look a bit defeated at the moment. I don't know if the.
But to be fair, he looked defeated. He looked defeated in his first season here when Son and Kane were out injured.
Yeah, he did. He was very depressed at that time as well. He said, "What did he say? I feel like I've got a gun with no bullets or something like that." And when he was saying stuff like that,
he was basically admitting defeat before games sometimes.
Yeah, and
which is also not on.
No, it's not on. And Jory's just sent a DM. Let's see what he has to say.
Does he have all the answers again?
I want to know. He says, unfortunately, I couldn't join the post-match discussion yesterday. I would love to join you at the next opportunity. A lot of important stuff. Oh, he hasn't said anything. Jory, I don't know if we're having fans on, but look, if you want to type something and put in an opinion on a DM, Jory, if you're watching, we'll read it out.
Let's have a look at the headlines.
Come on then.
This one is what paper is this? The Daily Fail. And on the back page, they've got a picture of Kane on the floor with his hands on his head, and they've got a picture of Jose Mourinho with his hands on his head. And the headline is "Not Again." Jose hammers his Spurs star once more as they blow yet another lead.
Yeah.
So Spurs dominating the back pages once again.
For the wrong reasons. Kane as well, by the way, giving another interview yesterday after the game.
Yeah.
And he was furious. You could see that. He was so angry. He's like, this is not the first time this has happened. It's happened time and time again. And he did seem really, really upset with the result. And rightly so, I think. And he tried, he was one of the only ones stepping up yesterday. Obviously, he got a couple of goals. I thought, in general, he played quite well.
He dragged us back into that game by himself.
He did. Well, I wouldn't say by himself, but I think he definitely was the main guy leading it, for sure.
Jose Mourinho pinned the blame squarely on his team once again and exonerated himself after Tottenham's latest implosion saw them draw 2-2 with Newcastle yesterday. Why can't he take any of the blame to the press?
Just not how he is.
This is from The Guardian. We create instability. Jose Mourinho blames his players after Spurs blow it. And there's just him and Sacramento just up in arms on the sidelines. I mean, look, these headlines, nothing we don't know, is there? Mm-hmm. The Daily Mirror. April Fool's Day. Mourinho, I don't trust my defenders to see out games. Do you reckon the lack of trust creates instability?
No, because he only didn't trust them because he's given them a reason not to trust them.
Do you think he trusted them at the beginning?
Huh?
Do you think he trusted them?
Yeah.
I mean, I know at the beginning of this season, it looked like he trusted them for 2 games. And then what happened against West Ham happened. And then the lack of trust stemmed from there.
I don't know. Look, I think obviously that probably played into it. But I think in terms of our defence...
Because we know that after that West Ham game, he put the shackles on the team.
Yeah, we saw that.
So do you not think that the trust... I know we kind of gave away that West Ham game in a shocking manner, but do you think he still should have kept the trust within the team? Into the defence? Do you think that's played into the kind of bad feeling?
It's easy to say that, but then I'm
asking the question.
I know, but I'm saying it's easy to say he should have carried on trusting it. But at the end of the day, after that West Ham game, we did go on a run of like 4 or 5 wins in a row or something. So he would argue he was right to do what he did. And but then in the long run, clearly it hasn't worked, has it? That's the problem. I think in some games, I think I think he did trust the defence in terms of. When we were watertight, we weren't making that many mistakes. Things were working, but I kind of feel like he's tried to trust some defenders, but they keep letting him down. And then he changes it, and then they keep no one is stepping up for him at the moment.
The thing is, though, those 4 or 5 games where we were winning 1-0 time after time. You could obviously, in terms of results, it was working, but. Were we not getting a bit lucky in those games in terms of only winning 1-0 and just about getting through these games?
Yeah, we were getting lucky.
Exactly. So luck was seeing us through. It's not exactly.
I wouldn't say it was all luck, but definitely we weren't playing. I remember saying at the time, performances against West Brom.
You can't keep that up.
And Burnley. I said that at the time. Look, I think I'm happy with winning, but we can't rely on getting a lucky goal and just defending for the whole time. We can't do that.
So
which is true. But. You put on the flip side, he did shore up the defence. He did. We stopped leaking goals. We were getting clean sheets, and we weren't defending properly. We weren't defending well.
Showed their true colours, didn't they?
That's exactly true, and that's what they keep doing this whole season. Defence keep showing their true colours.
Let's look at these facts. Tottenham have dropped 4 points from winning positions against Newcastle this season, the most in a season against a single side since Arsenal dropping against West Brom. Wow.
Well, for any team.
That's what it says in 2015-16 season.
Wow. Okay.
Newcastle have drawn. Spurs have failed to win 6 Premier League games this season, which they had led at half-time, the most of any side in the Premier League this season. Tottenham have dropped 11 points due to goals conceded in the final 10 minutes, the most of any Premier League side this season. Spurs boss Jose Mourinho has faced Steve Bruce as manager 13 times in all competition and has never lost. In his career, he has faced no other manager more times without defeat, apart from Sam Allardyce. Anything else? No, nothing else. And the last one, we got two more. Daily Express. Well, the only paper that Spurs aren't on the back page.
Oh, that's good. For once.
They've decided to put Pep Guardiola.
Pep Guardiola?
Talking about the fixture congestion, and he's saying that you're killing my stars. And this is just a place on Joe Willock, and it says, where there's a will, Gunnar Joe scores a sweet point to lift Magpies' hope. Yeah, nothing much in that. We'll go to the last one, the Times. And in the time, we're not on the back page again. It's Man United. I don't think Spurs were even in this. Nah. Line of Duty's in it. Here we go. Late strike breathes life into Bruce. Alderweireld and Aurier missed their COVID tests, it's saying.
Missed their COVID tests.
Yeah. So most points dropped, conceded in 10 minutes. Like I mentioned before, Tottenham 11. Do you know who the next teams on after that are?
Who?
Brighton and Liverpool on 8. Palace on 5. And then Man United, Sheffield United, West Brom, Wolves, West Ham, Fulham on 4. Well, that's it. And then you just got a picture of Harry Kane on the floor. But look, I think that is it from the papers. Shall we go to some tweets to finish off?
Yeah. 1 sec. People have been tweeting us left, right, and centre. Let's see what people says on Twitter. We actually got Bob Spurs been DMing us. He says, Klopp at Liverpool has improved players. Pep has changed some players' careers around. Jose is spoken of as a manager in the same tier who has improved. Please don't say Kane. He's a world-class player who's naturally getting better and better. I wouldn't say that, actually. I think, obviously, I agree he's a world-class player, but he wasn't getting better and better in the last 2 years.
I think that's unfair on Jose to say that he hasn't improved Kane. Look, even if you're a world-class player, you can still be improved on.
Yeah, I think he has improved a lot of players.
I would say that he's improved Kane. I think he's improved Son. I think he's improved Aurier to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think, obviously, he's improved Ndombele from last year.
Højbjerg, I think he's better than he was at Southampton, in my opinion.
It's difficult to say that because Højbjerg played a completely different role at Southampton.
Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, Lucas maybe, not really.
No, definitely Lucas. I think Lucas is going through his best moment in a Spurs shirt right now.
And then also Lamella, you could argue he's definitely improved. Who else he improved?
That's it, probably.
Yeah, that's probably it. Bob Spose says, even Tuchel has improved Chelsea defensively with the same players who had conceded 50 goals under Lampard. Jose is living off his CV, but to me, not justifying it, guys. Look, in a weird way, I know our big problem is defensively and our defensive mistakes, but I do think he has improved the defence. If the defence has improved under Jose than it was at the back end of Pochettino, I think the defence is better now than it was then. But it was from a very low starting point.
Only because of the style of football that we play. If we were to play like a normal style of football, a style of football that all the fans wanted, I think the defence would look the same as it was at the back end of Poch.
Well, regardless, he still improved it.
Yeah.
So, I think in 30 games this season, we've conceded 32 goals. And for the last 24 games under Pochettino, we conceded 31. So I think we have improved it, but it's still not good enough. We're not in a position where it's good enough to be where we want to be, unfortunately.
Our defence is absolutely shocking, right? And we've conceded the second least goals in the Premier League.
Third least, I think it is at the moment. I think only City, Chelsea, and then us. So we're third least conceded in the league.
With an absolutely shocking defence.
Exactly. So people are disingenuous to say he hasn't improved the defence and
But I
stuff
think
because
that's
we don't have
mainly-
the best defence in the league.
No, I think that's mainly down to style of play, though, and the way the teams have been set up, especially in the first half of the season, the amount of times we went into a game low blocking.
Yeah, but I know, but we still needed to shape up the defence. The defence was all over. I know you could argue is still all over the place, but the defence last season or under for the last year of Pochettino was so bad. It was so awful that it needed shoring up again, and we were just leaking goals left, right, and centre. Yeah, we're stumbling when we're leading this time round. Yeah, and it's awful, and we keep the same things keep happening. We keep taking the lead, and then we're getting pegged back. But as a defensive unit as a whole, I don't think it's drastic, but I do think it has got better in that sense.
And look, you can say the same like for Arsenal as well. They've got probably one of the worst defences in the league, and they shored it up. They started playing low block football, and they've also got one of the most least conceded in the league.
Yeah, but they're 10th.
Yeah, they are 10th.
So it's a bit different. Like we're still getting goals as well. Not as goals as we would like. We've got 51 goals. Who scored more than us? City, United, Leicester, 3. So we're fourth best attack, and third best defence.
Yeah,
I mean,
but we're nowhere near in the top 4 teams. Well, we are 2 points.
2 points. We're not that far off. That's what I keep saying.
Yeah.
But it's just the manner of the performances. That's what that's what has everyone up in arms. Let's look at some tweets though. Tottenham till I die. I agree. We have gone backwards. We lost the mentality that we had in 18-19, where we didn't do draws. We drew twice that season and finished 4th, and it was an optimistic season as opposed to this dismal one. The 18-19 season, we started well. We were like in the title race up until January, February. Then everything completely fell apart. You can argue similar this season. Up until December, we were on top of the league, and then it completely fell apart. So I don't think it's that different to that season right now. Just this season, we've dropped out the top 4. That season, we hung on to it for dear life, and we just about clung on to top 4 at the end because Arsenal didn't beat Brighton.
The Champions League final.
Yeah, because I remember Arsenal didn't beat Brighton that game, and that saved us basically.
Yeah.
But the difference.
That penalty.
And Aubameyang missed the penalty. It was fine lines that season. How we got top 4. Right now, we're still in that battle. But I think that season and this season are very similar in that sense.
Yeah, I agree. And it's also similar in a case of nobody wants the top 4. Everyone's just dropping points everywhere.
Exactly. Also very similar. Premier Hotspur says, "Hi guys. After Jose's comments after the game about them 2 players missed COVID tests, and then they missed training Thursday, Friday. Then a video clearly showing Toby behind training. Does this show toxic in the camp?" Yeah, we discussed this. I think it does. Unfortunately, I'm not, and I don't want to see him lying about players being available for training and whatnot. It's an awful look. It doesn't help anyone. I don't know what. Even himself, like it's so easily provable. He just looks like an idiot. So I think it was a complete poor move by Mourinho, and it's only something that's going to feed into the narrative that he's so desperate to avoid.
I think that as soon as like this kind of negative, the kind of toxicity starts to fester, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Usually with Mourinho it is.
I've been a staunch Jose fan this whole season. I backed him, but I'm really finding it hard to back him after things like that.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be honest. You can't be doing shit like that. Spurs in it says, Spurs Sim from WeAreTottenhamTV is absolutely right. Jose's management style requires a unified siege mentality where the players are 100% committed to his ideas. Recently, though, Jose punishes, drops and alienates whole sections of the squad, causing disharmony and unravelling it all. Yeah. But the thing is, though, I get that. Look, it's true, and I don't like that. And that's exactly what we didn't have under Poch. We had harmony, we had people together, but the biggest criticism under people were saying under Poch is he was too nice, and players had to take more accountability for themselves and stuff like that. And that's what everyone said we needed. We needed to be a bit harsher. We needed that bit more mentality. And maybe you could argue it's probably gone too much the other way, which is probably true. But you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, Poch was too nice, and now you're saying, oh, and now Jose's too harsh.
You can have it both ways though, because you need to meet somewhere in the middle. It doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. It needs to be a bit of both. I
know, but I'm just saying, like, the players were too nice under Poch, and now, like, for example, and like the players were too nice to each other. Now Mourinho's giving some home truths. He's like, oh, he's alienated. He's like, no, they did need to hear it. But yeah, he has gone too much the other way. That's clear.
Jose Mourinho,
he has gone too much the other way.
When he first came into the squad, he said that he wanted to just carry on the good work that Pochettino has done. He wants to carry on. He didn't want to make too many changes, and this team can fight for the league. And that, he's talking about this season.
He was wrong, wasn't he?
He was completely wrong.
He was completely wrong.
Has he carried on the work that Pochettino has done?
No.
Not at all, in my opinion.
No,
not
he
at
hasn't.
all.
Of course not. Of course not. Yes, that's clear. We all know he hasn't. He tried to implement his own style on it as well. I think in some games he has tried to do the high pressing, but I think the squad isn't. It's just, I don't know. They're not. I think a lot of the squads are not giving that extra bit of inches which Pochettino was able to get out of them in his peak years, and run through brick walls and stuff like that. This squad isn't up to that. However, this squad still has enough quality that even if they're not running through brick walls, they should still beat like bloody Newcastle. You know what I mean? And that has got down to Mourinho. Jory has been
the Joracle
in the DM saying Jose is the type that will bring the situation to boil fast by calling out bad actors. The team breakdown is accelerated. This is preferable to a long and drawn out dysfunctional breakup. There is no nice way of dumping your girlfriend. Jose is not a coach to build mid-tier players into stars like so many of the new school coaches. He is a manager to make stars into elite superstars. And that is, I think, that is true. I think that's
spot on. You can see that with Kane and Son.
Yeah, exactly. But the problem is, I guess
enough players on their level.
We don't have enough stars into elite superstars. We have too many. That's the problem. Pochettino was able to turn the mid-tier players into stars, a lot of them, and get them overachieving. But
we got top forward Ben Davies at left back.
Exactly, and now that's not the case. Mourinho was tasked with getting these supposed stars into elite superstars. But they're not stars, and that's the problem.
I 1,000,000% agree with that. 100%. I think it's absolutely spot on. Was that Jory?
Yeah, it was Jory. Yeah,
the Joracle pulls through once again.
Holly Agomba. That's true.
But but look, I don't think you compare. Look, what I don't know if you heard that, but what Joe said behind the camera was that Porto weren't exactly stars when he won the Champions League there and he won the league there. But I don't think you can compare that Jose Mourinho from back then to the Jose Mourinho we have now. I just don't think you can compare.
No, look at him. He's different. You can
different
see
man completely.
He's not that. He doesn't have that. It's difficult to say, but he doesn't have that that fire in him. You look at him today. He's just depressed and he's down. He looks beaten and he looks frustrated and stuff like that. When he's in his peak of his powers, he's confident. He has his chest out. He's got that fire in him. You can see that spark in his eye.
Haven't seen that at him since Inter Milan, really.
I think early days of Madrid, I think he still had it, and he won the league at Chelsea as well. In his second
but
spell.
just because he won the league, it doesn't mean he had that attitude of pump chest out, confident Jose.
I think he did.
I mean?
I think he did when he won the league at Chelsea that second time round. I think he did.
It's when year after it just went completely wrong.
Yeah, when things start to go wrong, they start to go wrong. That's the thing with him. Let's read Holly's DM. What's she saying? What do we need to fix the defence? I personally believe we've got to play Toby with either Tanganga or Rodon. We can't have the same combo we had against Newcastle. It was all over the place. Toby, I feel, hasn't got long left, so I think it would be beneficial for the likes of Tanganga and Rodon to learn from Toby. Then hopefully we can phase Toby out. I don't know what's going on with Toby and Mourinho at the moment. I can't.
Something happened with Toby and Poch as well.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm not sure what the situation is, but Toby, I mean, his powers are declining anyway, so he's probably got to be phased out anyway. Sanchez has got to be phased out. Dyer's got to be phased out. The only competent one there, it seems, is Rodon at the moment. I mean, I'm not saying Toby's not competent, because he is. I think he's been our best centre-back this season, but he still needs to be phased out.
Yeah. Super chat from I Hate Marmite, which has just been retracted, so... I don't know.
Thanks for the super chat, though.
But thank you for the super chat. It did have a whole message with it, but I don't know what it's saying. Not getting top four has tagged us in the tweet, saying probably the players who used player power to get Poch out and will do the same under Mourinho. #Clear, #Deadwood, #back Jose. That's on the back of some of Jose Mourinho's comments today have angered some among the Tottenham squad. Look, I think the squad have a right to be angry when he's lying about them. So I believe that. So I don't think it's
Jose also has a right to be angry at the squad.
Of course he does. I think he, especially some of the goals they've been giving away, he has a right to be pissed at that for sure.
So at what point do both parties just draw a line and just push for the badge. You know what I mean? It drives
but
me
you can't be
nuts,
lying
this
about them.
stuff.
You can't be lying about them. That's the end of the matter. That's true. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah, he can. Look, when he calls out the players and stuff like that, yeah, it doesn't look good, but I can understand it. But when he does shit like he did yesterday, that I don't understand.
I agree.
Arjun Gadhavi says Lamela divide fans' opinion because of hard work. He only scored 17 goals and 23 assists in 8 seasons. He don't pass at the right time. Only have one leg. Frustrates most of the time. Hard work is not the only criteria.
I hate Marmite came back with the super
go on.
chat.
What's he saying?
He says, when will we start questioning Ledley King's role at the club? A legend, of course, but what is he actually doing? I mean, look, all these people coming out about Ledley King, like, what's he actually doing? Just because he used to be a defender and our defence is rubbish. I mean, like, who is on the training ground? Who actually knows what goes on? I mean, I think it's so unfair on Ledley King that all this, like, criticism comes his way. I mean, nobody knows what goes on the training pitch. Nobody knows what his actual role is. So why are you criticising him?
Yeah, and we don't have any defenders of the class of Ledley King. He's probably frustrated with the set of defenders he's got at the moment. But like, first of all, we have the third best defence in the league. So like, in terms of goals conceded, so he's not doing everything wrong. It's just at crucial moments.
Yeah, but we don't even know what his job is. So it's like, how can you say
I'm sure clearly you can see him on the touchline encouraging defenders and stuff. So he's clearly managing the defence, but it's not good enough. No, I don't think from him.
The thing is, though, with Ledley King, I always thought he might have been too much of a nice guy to be a coach anyway.
Sorry?
I've always thought with Ledley King, he might have been too much of a nice guy to be a coach anyway.
Yeah, I did think that. I thought that initially. Who knows how he is on the training ground? You might have a point there.
He doesn't seem to have like that authority that coaches and managers have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe you're right. If you say that, but then
he was captain all those years.
First of all, he was captain, and then as well, don't we need that as well to counterbalance Mourinho?
I don't know. Maybe Ledley King's too weak to stand up to Jose.
Maybe. Edo Yolanda, we need to discuss this finding in your channel. No, we discussed this already, this video. That's the video of the training session.
I think we need to mention Davinson Sanchez and all this absolutely vile abuse he's been getting. Because
I mean, that was horrendous. That was so disgusting.
Joke. Like these people,
it's more than a joke.
These people need to take they need to take a long hard look at themselves because it's absolutely disgusting. Why does this kind of issues need to come into footballing issues? Why, when a player has a bad game, not even for Spurs, for any club, Man United, it's happened countless times. I've seen it happen at Arsenal. I've seen it happen at many other clubs.
It seems to happen every time there's a person of colour puts in a bad performance. They get
ridiculous.
And it's disgusting. And I don't understand how the platforms, they're so quick at getting rid of copyright and stuff like that. And within a second, you post it and it's down. Yeah, when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's like, we have to look into it and you have to report it and make an appeal and it takes 3 to 5 working days for them to get back to you, and then they'll come back to you saying, there's nothing wrong here, and they'll probably keep it up. It's really disgusting, and social media has turned so toxic because of it, because of all this stuff. After each game, these anonymous accounts are posted, and also I feel like a lot of the time they just post it to get the reaction. So I feel like even us talking about it is playing into the fact that we're reacting to it, and now they've gotten what they want. But of course it has to be talked about. Of course it has to be called out and talked about, because anyone who calls themselves a Spurs fan and does that is not welcome
even a
at
Spurs
the club.
fan, not even a Spurs fan. Any person in this world. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to be a Spurs fan.
I'm just saying
they're a football fan.
Yeah, I'm just saying if you then they're not welcome in society. These people, they're not welcome in society. So they need to. It's all well and good us saying stop doing it, but it's not going to stop them. That's there's not a person watching this channel saying, WeAreTottenhamTV says it's bad, so it must be bad. That's not going to happen.
Do you think that
in terms of the social media platforms, they need to be doing more?
Do you think that more accounts need to be following Thierry Henry's lead?
Potentially.
Is that the only way that these social media companies are going to start taking note and listening?
I think it is very difficult. I think clearly when for certain things they're very quick to act, and they have an algorithm that works. I think it is very difficult to monitor so many comments when they've got millions or even billions like per hour like coming through, and they have to like find all of them. But they definitely need to find. I don't know what it's difficult to find out what exactly the solution is, but they need to. I think they need a better reports process, and I think they need a process to manage the amount that is coming through every hour and stuff. And at the moment, I feel like they're not doing it because like it gets attention for their platform in a weird way. Like all this kind of stuff, like people will start talking about their platform more, and like I don't know. It's difficult. It's difficult to know exactly how to solve the problem. But
maybe the government need to take a stand and enforce it on these companies.
No, I think we just need to end anonymous accounts. That's the only way to do it. We need to do, like, you know, you see dating apps and stuff like that a lot of them you need ID, and you need a proof of your ID to open an account, and like you can take a picture and stuff like that. I think these social media platforms, that's how it has to be, unfortunately, because people can't be trusted to be anonymous. So that's the reality. And when people are when people are saying things that if they were to say them on the street, it would be a crime. But when it's anonymous, nothing can be done about it. Then I think you have to take a look and say, I think we have to. When social media platforms have so much power and so much influence, and it's like a day-to-day thing now. Social media platforms, it's not just a hobby and everything. It's like an actual reality that people kind of need in this day and age. You're required to have like a social media platform. I think you need to end the days of anonymous platforms. Yeah, it was all well and good at the start when it was all a bit of fun, and when Facebook was like, you'd update your profile saying I'm taking a crap, and everyone would whatever and stuff like that, and people just like take it as a hobby. That's different. Now it's people's livelihoods, it's people's lives. People live online, and like there's a whole world online now, and in that, when it's that big now, when it's that serious, you can't have these anonymous profiles with no accountability.
I think I completely agree with what you're saying. I think you're absolutely spot on. I think we do need to end these anonymous accounts.
We have to end it because that's the only way. Because trust me, when someone's verified and they have an account connected to who they are, they're not going to be saying this shit, okay? Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we'll know who they are. They'll have to take accountability for the shit they're saying, okay? Right now, I think it's just trolling, and I think at the moment they just want to get a reaction, and they want to cause a bit of stir, and like, if someone says this kind of awful, vile shit, yeah, and then there's a headline on Sky Sports News saying this guy got abused, and it's like a ticker, breaking news, racist abuse, and it gets people talking,
exactly.
Right?
Name and shame these bastards.
And but the thing is, that's probably what the troll wants. Like, think about what a troll's mentality is. I'm going to say something vile to cause a stir and get a reaction. Imagine they're saying something with all this vile shit, and then they cause a breaking news story on Sky Sports. That's what they want. So it's feeding into that. But they wouldn't be doing it if they actually had to take accountability and take credit for what they actually did. What they're doing is they're just hiding behind anonymous accounts and seeing all this shit that they're causing and taking absolutely no responsibility or accountability for the shit they're saying. And if there are no anonymous accounts, none of this shit would be happening, and that's the only way we can solve it, in my opinion.
Look, I think you're absolutely spot on. Screwing the Tuna says Sim for Prime Minister. Look, no, I think you're absolutely spot on, and I've got nothing else to add on that. I think that these people need to start taking accountability, and I think you're 100% right. If these verification process to set up social media accounts were there, I think you wouldn't see this kind of abuse. It would be
impossible, because they'll be in prison or they'll be charged or fined or whatever the punishment is. Yeah. They would have to take accountability for it. That's the only way. At the moment, when you're allowing anonymous accounts, you're allowing no accountability. That's what you're allowing.
100% spot on.
All right, but that's all. By the way, I'll just quickly point out, we do obviously stand by Davinson Sanchez against all this horrific vile abuse, and whatever criticism we've given to him for his performances and for the way he plays.
It's got nothing to do on the football pitch.
It's got nothing to do with who he is as a person and everything like that. Like, all this vile, disgusting abuse that he receives is completely uncalled for, completely disgusting, and it's got no place in our community.
Any walks of life.
It's got no place in any walks of life, especially, for sure. That's what we've got to say on that. The BG with a couple of the super chats says, anyone think Jose Bale treatment is strange again? Yeah, I mean, he only got 3 minutes yesterday, and apparently as well, I don't know if you saw, apparently Sissoko was ready to come on
He was, yeah.
Before
we conceded.
Before we conceded, and
Yeah.
then once we conceded, Bale was going to come on, which kind of makes sense, but also makes you angry when you think about it because bloody Sissoko is so
Do you
crap.
not remember what I was saying at the watch long? Don't bring on Sissoko.
And we were about to bring on Sissoko. So you could argue would have wanted Sissoko earlier. Maybe we would have shown up the result.
Every fucking game.
He does, and we can't trust Sissoko, man. But then again, is Bale really the player you want when you're holding on to a lead? I don't know whether that's true either. But then again, maybe we could have extended the lead.
Athelston Edwardson says Sim is like a wise old man in a young fella's body.
I don't know about that. Anton Jepson says Bale had one bad game and now he can't start? I do kind of agree with that.
It's strange on Gareth Bale because you know he would be suited against these kind of teams, and especially yesterday when Newcastle had that high line. You know, you were praying for someone just to get in behind. Son couldn't exploit that in the second half, and I reckon if we had two of them maybe on there, maybe Bale on one side, Son on the other side, it would be so much easier for us to get in behind them.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that, and especially when periods, because we did dominate possession yesterday. So when you got periods and when you have a lot of the ball, you need players like Bale to help open up the team and have that extra bit of quality. And I think he would have provided that. But unfortunately, he didn't get enough time on the pitch.
Thinking about Reguilon, because in my opinion, I think he's off the ball for the last 2 months.
I think
even before he was injured, I thought he was a bit off the boil.
Well, I think before I have to see the timeline of when he got injured. Let's see Reguilon.
I don't on Flash Score.
I don't think he was that bad before he got injured. I think he was still fairly good. I do think a lot of the problems have been since he got injured. Before he got injured, he was playing quite well, as you can see here. He played that Fulham game. I thought he played well there. He got a great assist for Kane with that diving header. He then played 90 minutes against Sheffield United, where he played quite well. But I think it's since then he got injured he missed how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4. He missed 5 games. Since then, he has been off the boil. He came back
7 games,
including Europa League. It's 7 games.
Right.
If you're talking about just Premier League, he missed 5. He missed 5 games in the Premier League, and since then, I remember against West Ham, completely off the pace. Mm-hmm. Against Burnley, we won 4-0. He played all right. He got an assist, but he actually played okay in that game. But it's only Burnley. Then he got rested against Fulham. Against Crystal Palace, he played again. Actually, thought he played quite well in that game, but. Then against Arsenal, against Villa, and against Newcastle, that's 3 average performances in a row. I do think it's a bit harsh to say he's been off. You could argue 2 months, I guess, because West Ham.
Originally, I said 1 to 2 months.
West Ham was 21st of February, and we're now 5th of April, so I would say 6 weeks.
I say like one.
I think
one
since
and a half.
he's come back from injury.
Yeah,
I think since he's come back from injury, because I think before his injury he was pretty. I still think he was pretty good, but yeah, he hasn't been the same. So whether we've rushed him back or whatnot, I don't know what the issue is at the moment with Reguilon. But and also I remember against Zagreb when he came on, he was really bad as well in that second leg. But so. I think it's a difficult one with Reguilon. What's going on with him? I don't know what's going on with him, but he's a bit off the pace at the moment. Cody Mack with a tweet. He says, "Let's be honest, we couldn't be in a worse situation in terms of having to move on half the squad and owing 30 million to a manager who we should probably move on. Where is the passion from the players? They should be getting in each other's faces with performances like this. Gutless." I think that's mostly spot on. What other tweets we got? Jory again. Now we have mid-tier players that have star self-image, which is very toxic. They don't have the ambition like real superstars that will submit to the right leadership when they feel it will take them and the team to the next level. Elite players are always all in like Jose demands, but mid-tier players will quickly be at their wits' end in terms of ability and are in the face of owning up to their limited ability or blaming someone else. I think Jory is spot on there.
Jory's always spot on. Majorical.
Bob Spur says Jose's first press conference and his latest. What does it say? Joe, can we put the phone on? Bob Spur, look, this is Jose's first press conference and his latest. What does it say? I mean,
tells a lot, big story, doesn't it?
Doesn't look happy, does he? He looked confident when he first took. I think maybe it was a bigger job than he originally thought when he first.
I think that's 100% spot on, because I think that he thought we had a much better squad than we actually had. I think that all he thought he needed just to do a few tweaks, and then we could.
He didn't realise how much Poch had overachieved.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of the fan base didn't realise how much. I think we were very consistent in how much we realised he overachieved, but I think a lot of the fan base didn't realise how much he had.
He thought certain players were much better than we were, like Eric Dyer and what have you. But yeah, I think that's the facts of the matter.
And Dacier says, I think these players know when 80 minutes hits they are going to concede. The mentality in the players right now is awful and rubbish. Like, this can't go on. Say Mourinho is defensive all you want, but that back line had more than enough talent to win that game.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I do agree with that. All right, but I think
we've run out of time for today.
I think that is that. That was a really good show, guys. I really enjoyed that. Well, I didn't enjoy it, but I enjoyed airing out a lot of the issues, and I enjoyed the interaction and stuff like that, and reacting to his press conference. And obviously we're gonna have the player ratings and the 5 takeaways coming out later today as well.
Yeah,
so
you might have a Tottenham update as well. I think there's an update to do, so we might have that for you. But tomorrow as well, we go live for the Hotspur. Simeon goes head to head with John not one more time, but yet again.
One more time.
What else we got tomorrow? We got the Perspective tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what else. But look, I think that it was a good show today. Everyone hashtag Sim for Prime Minister.
I don't know about that.
for his great little rant on the Davinson Sanchez situation. But yeah, I think we just got to reiterate that there is just no place in this world for racism. There is just no place in this world, and it needs to be stamped out ASAP. And I think what you were saying in terms of verifying accounts on social media, I do genuinely think that's the way to go. I can't see another way around it. As Joe McGuinness says, Sim is better than Boris. I don't think it's hard to be better than Boris. But look, that is it. That is your morning after show. We'll be back today for the play ratings and the 5 takeaways, and tomorrow we'll be back live for the Hotspur. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always,
come on you Spurs.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. If you'd like to raise a question, if you'd like to ask a question, please use the raise hand function. And we'll start with Rob Guest.
Hi, Jose. Can I just get your thoughts on today's performance and results?
It's a bad result. I'm not being disrespectful with Newcastle, but I think that is a match to win. So the result is not a good one. And the performance, if I analyze the performance separated from so many mistakes that lead to instability, and instability leads to hope in the opposition. If I want to analyze it separate from that, I think we were good. I would say very good in some moments. A great period in the first half, also a solid period in the second. But I cannot do it. The game belongs to every moment, and I cannot separate the game from these moments of of instability, and that's the reason why we didn't win the game, because that instability also affects the ball possession, also affects the way you build, also affects the way you go to attacking situations. So that's my view.
11 points now. Tottenham have dropped from conceding in the last 10 minutes of games. How do you go about fixing that?
I cannot tell you. I don't want to tell you. I think it's for me. It's for me. It's not for you. It's for me.
Okay, we're going to move on to Dan Patrick now.
Hi, Jose. You obviously stuck with the same team that played against Villa, but it was quite a young defence in terms of experience and just age. I just wondered what the thinking was behind leaving out Aurier and Alderweireld from the squad. Were they not available or just not selected?
Not selected.
Can you say why?
Yeah, I can. They came to training just yesterday.
So they weren't fit?
They were fit, yeah, but they report for training only yesterday. They went for the national teams and they didn't make the COVID tests on time to be in the training session on Thursday, not even on Friday. They come only yesterday. But did we lose matches with them, or with them we were a perfect team defensively?
Well, no, you did lose matches with them. I was just wondering what your thinking was.
Okay, there's no more raised hands. Give a few seconds if anyone else wants to ask one more question. Otherwise, that's what's done.
Finished.
We've got a few more here. So we'll go to Martin.
Hi, Jose. Are you saying the two Are you saying the two defenders would have been included if they'd been in time for their COVID test, or would they've had a chance at least?
Maybe, but I'm not saying yes. And I feel a bit strange, the previous question and also your question, because what are you trying to say? That Davinson Sanchez and Rodon, they were very bad? If you want to say that, you say. I'm not going to say that. If you want to say that Serge and Toby, every time they played, they were phenomenal. You want to say, if you want to say, you say, but don't put me with questions that you want an answer, but I don't have an answer to give, or at least the answer you want.
No, sorry, I'm not being disrespectful to the players that played. More that, is it indiscipline that cost them the chance to play? That's more the point.
I don't want to say indiscipline. I don't want to say discipline. I don't want to say that. This is what it is. The players that landed in London on Wednesday after internationals, and the ones that played in London, like the case of the English boys, they had the tests and they could immediately be in training on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and they couldn't, and they appeared only yesterday.
So maybe, sorry, last one. Maybe it's about desire. Are you suggesting?
I think Jose's explained all he needs to explain there. I'm going to move on to Damien from PA and finish there. So, Damien.
Hi, Jose. Jose, were you disappointed that you didn't kill the game off? You had chances to kill the game off and you didn't?
We had chances to kill the game, but we create instability to ourselves with the mistakes that we made defensively. And you don't need me to analyze with you the goals that we concede. You don't need me to go with you through the 2 goals that we concede. You have lots of experience in football. If you want, you have the capacity to analyze it. If you want me to just to help you, I tell you, first goal and second goal, you split the goals in 3 different periods. Okay, in the second goal, for example, there were 3 periods. The moment of the cross, the ball in the second post, and the second ball in the face of the goal. You go from moment to moment, and you can analyze easily the goal. You go to the first goal. If you want to go, split in periods. The moment we had the ball, the moment we lost the ball, and the positional play when the ball reaches the goal scorer, I think Joelinton. So try to split the action in, let's say, 3 different phases, and you can look at it. So could we kill the game? Yes, we could kill the game. We had 1 ball in the second half where I don't know why Sonny tried to assist when he just has to control and score. We had the ball that Harry hit the post. We have the ball where Lamela just needs a simple pass to Tanguy, and Tanguy was in the face of the goal. Yes, we could kill the game. But then you look also to moments of instability, and also a couple of actions where Newcastle could score, and you take also your conclusions. But for me, as a coach, it's very, very hard to analyze the game with you. It's very, very hard to do it. It's not for me to do it.
Okay, thank you.